Okay, so I might get into my bag a little bit, so we're just gonna have to push through it. There will be mistakes, but we're just gonna push right through it. Um, I'm gonna talk about a few recent stories of, for lack of a better term, idiots, morons who own dogs, and even if they mean well, they don't know what the fuck they're doing, and they're actually hurting the animal, especially in the long run. But I guess the first thing I want to talk about is, like, if you ever meet somebody who doesn't talk about like dogs as a monolith, I mean, sure, there are always going to be exceptions to everything, but we have data on the canine. We have data on tons of things, right? When it comes to dogs, we know a lot. When you hear somebody pitching to you this idea or talking to you about their dog in kind of like in opposition to what you're telling them about dogs in general, be wary. You're talking to a fucking moron. They're an idiot. Walk away if you don't want to get frustrated. Example number one. We had a day out with the dog, and then as we came home to meet friends, we had people ask why the dog goes into a kennel when we get home. I give my dog the kennel command, he goes in the kennel, and somebody who thinks they know better, some idiot, goes, well, why does he have to go in the kennel? It's not that he has to go in the kennel, it's that he's trained to go in the kennel, it's that he wants to be in the kennels. I respond, well, the kennel is a place where he feels safe, there are new people in the house, and, you know, all dogs can benefit from being in a crate. And this person tells me, without skipping a beat, well, not pit bulls. You can't crate a pit bull, because if you crate a pit bull, it'll get aggressive. She's a fucking moron. She's a moron. And of course it was a woman. I hate to say that, but it's just the truth. Some of the best dog trainers I've ever seen are female, but a large portion, the majority of women who own dogs don't know what the fuck they're doing. They get a dog instead of a child or instead of a boyfriend, and they let it kind of just steamroll into something that is completely unrealistic when it comes to their dogs. To go back to the person who claims that, this is my neighbor likes to come out of her house whenever there are people outside and just get like extremely involved in their lives. But it's neither here nor there. Going back to the first person, pit bulls can't be crated. You can crate all dogs, but you can't crate a pit bull. It's bullshit. It's stupid. All dogs benefit from being crated. We know this. Dogs are denning animals. They have a denning instinct, and giving them a crate is an important part of training them. Having them spend time in that crate and understand that it's a healthy and safe place is really crucial to leaving them when you leave the home and allowing yourself to train them and proper rest. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. Crating a dog is a good thing. If you think your dog, if someone tells you their dog doesn't like being crated or it doesn't work on their dog, you're talking to a fucking moron. You're talking to an idiot that doesn't care about their dog. This person in example one has a blue pit baby, unaltered, okay? And they're raising it like that in an apartment in Hollywood. The dog is almost 3 months, I'm guessing. It was nipping when I saw it. They didn't ask for help. I didn't offer help. I'm not giving free advice to people who don't know what the fuck they're doing. Apparently, the male figure in the partnership, he's raised almost 50 pit bulls. And this is how he does it. Okay. All right, I don't care. You know, it's gonna break my heart if the dog bites someone, when the dog bites someone, but it's neither here nor there for me to say. But to say that a pit bull, or any dog for that matter, but let's just stay on topic, to say a pit bull can't be crated Can't. Not shouldn't, but just can't. First thing, that they can't be created. It's bullshit. Doesn't make any sense. It makes zero sense at all. To say that they don't like it is stupid, and to think of the animal as if they're human. You may not like that your dog is in a crate. It may be difficult for your delicate human sensibilities if you don't understand what the benefit is. But it has nothing to do with the dog or the species of canine. They all benefit from being crated. Period. Now this individual, this specific pit bull apparently doesn't need a crate because it sleeps on the couch. That's its crate and that's its bed. I mean, what do you say to that? What do I even have to say about that? It's retarded. It's stupid. Okay? It just, it's foolish. I mean, it's just foolish. And that dog's gonna end up hurting someone. Now, moving on, okay? Because I can't stay on that very long. There's not really an argument to be had. You can't crate a pit bull. It makes them aggressive. That's just an idiot. That's just someone that doesn't know what they're talking about. So we'll move on. Second example. I was recently visiting a friend, and I've had my wolf dog around them, and their dog, they have a Malinois that they got full board and train done with, which turned out great, and they're really happy with. And they also have a German Shepherd cattle dog mix that my dog has spent time with. They've both been calm and in the same area. They don't need to mock fight. They just hang out, which is fine. They even have the base layer for honoring down, where one of them will play fetch and the other will just sit and watch. But we were going over there and I was told, feel free to bring the dog. And I asked, okay, are there any other dogs coming? Because I don't bring my dog to people's homes without knowing the scenario. It's unrealistic and it's asking for trouble. Well, I was told that there's going to be a new person I hadn't met and they're bringing 2 dogs, but quote, they are very good with their dogs and they keep them under control. Hearing that right out of the gate, I don't know the dogs, I don't know the dog owner, so it was easy for me. I left my dog at home, in the crate, where it needed to be. No big deal, we go over for the dinner, we're hanging out, everything's fine, and then he comes by with his dogs. The guy comes by with his dogs and he has 2 dogs, about 4 or 5 month old puppy, and a pit bull, fully grown, both on flexi leads. So right out the gate, I think, great. I'm glad I left my dog at home. But this guy, the dogs weren't bad and the guy wasn't bad. He had a lot of questions about dog training. He was really enthusiastic about the fact that that's something that I do. He was really enthusiastic about learning. But as the night went on and we got to talking, there were just more and more instances where he agreed with the things that were being said, but he wanted to push back on those with the things that his dogs did, right? Because his dogs didn't need X, Y, and Z. For instance, his dogs mock fight. I don't care. Look, at the end of the day, let me preface this. I don't care what anyone does with their dogs. Do whatever you want. I'm just trying to say that by not training dogs and by not having your dogs compliant, you're leading to a greater risk of the dogs being put down, okay? 4 million dogs are put down in America every single year due to lack of training or no training at all. It's a fucking scourge, okay? It's a tragedy. And that's why I'm pro-educating people about I'm pro-educating people, and I don't care if I lose a friend telling somebody that they're gonna fuck their dog up. So basically, we're sitting there and the dogs are mock fighting, and this small puppy is getting just wrecked by this pit bull. So he goes on to tell me how, no, this is how they are, this is how they are. It's actually the little one who does it more. It's just the little one. He reprimands the little one and lets the pit bull run wild. Then I hear a story about the cattle dog mix, the German Shepherd cattle dog mix that my dog gets along with, and how when it met the pit bull, the first day it came out of the room, the pit bull was in the house, saw the dog from afar, darted across the dining room, the kitchen, and the laundry room, leapt out of the back door, off the 3 or 4 step porch they have there, at the cattle dog. The cattle dog bolted for obvious reasons. When the pit bull couldn't stick the landing, smashed its face into the concrete, scraped its whole fucking face up, and had to go to the vet. And now, in my opinion, expensive vet bills are the cost you pay for being an idiot. But I don't want to see dogs getting injured. That's fucked up. It's not cool, man. It's fucked up. So, I already knew that the pit bull had aggression issues, discipline issues, really. Putting its head on my lap while we're eating dinner under the dining room table. I told the dog to fuck off. Get the fuck out of here, dog. I don't want you around me while I'm eating. I don't want your super strong pit bull resting its head on my crotch while I have food 6 inches above it. No. Then later, we're sitting around the fire and he asks if the dog, Axel is the name of the dog, if the dog could rip up a beer box, okay? You mind if my dog rips that up? He likes to tear up cardboard. He likes to recycle. Okay, I'm like, I like that. I teach my dogs reverse retrieves so they can recycle plastic, paper, and whatnot. It's a fun game. Cool, your dog recycles, whatever. And at first it was pretty cute, okay? I'm thinking maybe I've got this guy wrong. Maybe his dogs are well trained and maybe I'm missing the point of what he does. Maybe he just does things different than me. Trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. And I go on to watch the dog put its paws in the cardboard and start ripping pieces off and throwing them on the ground, which is cute enough, I guess. Making a mess, but it's not the worst thing in the world as long as he's just ripping and spitting. Then it happens. And I knew it was gonna happen and I was waiting for it. Okay? I was waiting for it. The dog rips a huge piece of cardboard off. I'm thinking like, it's gotta be at least the size of my palm. Okay? Rips a huge piece of cardboard off, smells it, and then starts chewing on it. So I turn to the guy and say, hey man, does your dog always chew on the cardboard? And he goes, oh no, he doesn't chew on it. I go, okay, does he eat it? Because he's chewing on it right now. No, he doesn't do that. Okay, but I'm just letting you know he's chewing on a big old piece right now. So he watches from afar, doesn't get involved, and we laugh, I guess. He laughs. I didn't laugh, but he laughed as the dog swallowed a big ass piece of cardboard, this cardboard box. Mind you, the whole time this is happening, he's talking about how the dog loves to chew on cardboard and rip cardboard up all the time. Does it all the time at home. He loves Amazon. He kept saying that. So I'm watching and the dog does it again and a third time. And I'm thinking to myself, are you gonna do anything? But I'm not getting involved. I'm not getting involved with this person. He's not my friend. He's not somebody I really know. I met him that night. And sorry, there's a really busybody. Again, my neighbor, she's a super busybody. She's going from here to these other people. Ridiculous. But yeah, I'm not talking to this guy. Why would I tell him what to do? He's already displayed that he doesn't care what I have to say. So fuck it. I'm watching his dog eat cardboard obsessively. And you know, like, that's pica. His dog has pica. He does it at home apparently. He did it right there in front of me. And even if the guy wants to tell me he never eats the cardboard boxes. Bullshit. Of course he does. He's doing it right in front of me. Of course he does. And I mean, for those of you who don't know, like, pica is a really bad thing. Like, if your dog develops pica, you better get him to a vet ASAP, and you better get him to a professional trainer ASAP to completely evict those problems. I mean, that's a big problem. The guy didn't have a leave it or an out command, so he's not training the dog to leave food on the ground. That dog could eat all sorts of things. And if he's eating cardboard boxes, and if the owner is laughing and encouraging him by giving him cardboard boxes and leaving him alone, it's a big problem. And that dog won't be long for this world. I don't like to say it, but that dog will die. That dog will die sooner than it needs to if it's got pica. And it's not going to stop with cardboard. I'm sure it rips up toys and stuffing. I'm sure it rips up its bedding. I'm sure it does all sorts of stuff like that. And that's just two cases. I guess the moral of the story is people are fucking morons. I would recommend that more people obviously pay for professional training to get their dogs conditioned properly with all the commands. But man, I mean, I would encourage people to, at the very least, like, learn what a good or well-trained dog is, or what good methods, like, or at least learn what not to do with a dog. The problem is, the more you learn that, I'm telling you, man, at the very least, the less you'll come to respect people who own dogs. The more and more I learned about dog training, the better I got at dog training. The more I got into the world of dog training, the less I came to respect dog owners. At least the ones who couldn't and didn't train their dogs and didn't give their dogs the professional help they needed. It's pathetic. It's fucking pathetic. People don't know what's best for their dogs. They think their dog is a human. They anthropomorphize their animals, and they make a big mistake by doing so. Okay, your dog doesn't like Amazon. Your dog doesn't want to eat fucking cardboard. Your dog doesn't, your dog doesn't do better by chasing after dogs and mock fighting. And what's going to happen with that pit bull one day is it'll die from eating something like that, from pica, or it's going to bite another dog or a child or a person, and then it's going to get put down. Your dog doesn't get better by you giving it out. Your dog doesn't get better by you making excuses. Your dog doesn't get trained by you acting like it's a human. It's not a human, it's a dog. Get that through your fucking heads. Like, it's not that difficult. And your dog definitely doesn't benefit from you thinking that it's the only dog breed that doesn't need to be crated. Are you fucking mental? Like, think about it. Read. Do something. Like, learn. Educate yourselves. For Christ's sakes. Like, please. And if you don't educate yourself, fine. But don't waste my fucking time trying to have a conversation about how your dog doesn't need a crate. Okay? Get your dog trained. Get a fucking professional.